Extra, extra. Weird news.
Weird all about it.
Hello and welcome to Weird News Wessex Wextra. I'm Andy.
And I'm Craig.
It's close enough. What weird news have you got for us today, Craig?
Going straight in, are we? All right, I'm going to go in with a screen share straight off the bat
Yeah.
because you need to see what I'm looking at because I've been staring at this whilst we've been getting ready. Check this out.
Oh, that's haunting. That's gonna.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, so the story is a robot gets a face of living skin that allows it to smile.
I'm glad I haven't eaten breakfast. That's horrifying. That's a thing of nightmare.
Yeah. So yeah, it says if humanoid robots make you feel a bit queasy, would it help if they had fleshy faces that can smile at you?
No.
The uncanny feat is a result of new technology using engineered living skin tissue and human-like ligaments to give robots a more natural smile, according to Tokyo University researchers who unveiled their work this week. It says in this study, we managed to replicate human appearance to some extent. Could argue that by creating a face with the same surface material and structure as humans. I'm not sure what humans they've got in Tokyo, but it's terrifying.
That is
Uh,
terrifying.
Yeah. In the process, he added, we identified new challenges such as the necessity for surface wrinkles and a thicker epidermis to achieve a more human-like appearance. The approach promises to make robots more lifelike, and in the future, the researchers say similar technologies could also be used on humans in cosmetics and plastic surgery industries. So, yeah. Do you want to see it again before we
Oh, go on, go on.
now you know the story that goes with it? And he's back.
I just want to be your friend.
The
Yeah, that's
eyes too.
and his weird little nose.
Hmm. So yeah, if you're listening, AI overlords, we're not mocking you. We're mocking the people that made you.
Yes. Um. Yeah. Please don't kill us and then boil us down to baked flesh faces.
Don't give
Um.
them ideas.
It's
Christ.
only a step away. You know. You've heard of dead internet theory, right?
Hmm.
You know they already control the internet. It's just bots talking to other bots, leading the algorithms.
Exactly.
Mate, I mean, you might be a bot.
Don't think I am.
It could be though, with
Don't
your
know. Shall
flesh
I try
face.
that kind of?
Maybe we both are. So,
Maybe.
I'm going to steer us away from terrifying AI. And on a lighter note, um, there were some sheep acting strangely recently. Now, this is near Thessaly in Greece. And the headline is sheep start behaving strangely after eating 100 kilos of cannabis in a greenhouse.
Wow.
Sadly, there's no videos of these sheep. I would love to see a stoned sheep. A flock of sheep acting weirdly were found to have munched down on a crop of weed. Um, Wildfires, heat waves, and flooding have destroyed key grazing areas for the flock, so the sheep invaded a greenhouse which produces medical cannabis. And the owner told the newspaper, which is thenewspaper.gr, last year that his crop had been badly damaged by extreme weather, and once inside, the sheep simply finished off what was left. I don't know if it's for laughing or crying. We had the heat wave. We lost a lot of our production. So yes, they say the sheep seemed like they were feeling lightheaded, and they were exhibiting strange behaviour. They were jumping higher than goats, which never happens. So literally, they were just prancing around these fields, and sort of, I'm assuming, looking for more food. You
Wow.
know, giggling at Kevin Smith films a bit more than they usually would. I don't know, whatever stone sheep do, really.
It's interesting that they were jumping. Like, we imagine
Yeah.
like inactivity, but that makes them sound like they had more activity. Maybe they were trying to fly. Hey, Dave, watch this. I can fly.
Oh, that's
You know, I won't mention who, but I know someone that has livestock.
yeah.
And they said that they've often seen the sheep deliberately eat the magic mushrooms that are growing in the grass and get
I
high.
mean, they say reindeer do, don't they?
But it says that I was told that they get high, but it doesn't last very long. So they'll like zone out, but it seems to like pass really quickly.
Which is weird because from what I've been told, that when you eat cannabis, it lasts for ages.
Does it?
Like as a human,
I wouldn't know.
me neither. But like I've heard that it
Yeah.
lasts for a long time. So yeah, I wonder if you could infuse the meat with it. And that anyway, what you got next?
What have I got next? I'll tell you what, we'll go for something. This one's not particularly weird, but I thought it was a nice one because we sometimes touch on history and stuff too, right? So this is a BBC News article that my neighbor sent me, which is 1,000-year-old skeletons found in a hotel garden.
Nice.
This was fairly recently, just this month. So human bones dated to be more than 1,000 years old have been discovered in the garden of a hotel with 24 skeletons found among bones belonging to a number of others. The Anglo-Saxon remains of men, women, and children were found in the grounds of the Old Bell Hotel in Malmesbury, which is next door to Malmesbury Abbey in Wiltshire. And the remains date between 670 and 940 AD, which include the earliest days of the abbey when it was a monastery.
See, if it was a hotel like somewhere else in Spain, like for example, I'd say maybe it was like either German or English bones that like got there really early to like try and beat the others to the deck chairs, you know. So did it say how many bodies were in there?
They've got 24 skeletons. But it said it was found alongside bones belonging to a number of others.
Okay.
So it must be 24 complete, I guess.
Do I reckon that was like part of the abbey, or you know, got to be a haunted hotel, right?
I'd hope so.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Charge extra for that.
Yeah, just scrolling further down to see if there's anything else on that. But I mean, it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? So it says it looks like we found traces of the community of people that helped the monks at the abbey. And it's going to shed light on the way Malmesbury Abbey worked in its golden age. So yeah, I think they're still working on who they were.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, presumably if the hotel came later, the hotel's been built partially on the grounds of the abbey, which is why the bodies are there.
So, I imagine the hotel doesn't predate the abbey.
It'd be weird if it did.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, we've got the anyone that listens to Will I Like It would have heard this before, but the local the manager of the museum, he's in charge. He's the director, sorry, of Wiltshire Museum. Was on my podcast, and he was talking about my village because they found a bunch of bits of the original church in someone's back garden many years ago.
That's cool.
Where the church was moved. But they didn't move the bodies.
So I was just going to bring a suggestion up for a future episode, actually, but I suppose I can leave that till later.
You can mention it if you want.
Yeah, I thought we should go to do a night at Avebury. Well, I mean, you could probably drive home in the wee hours if you wanted to, but I think we should like spend a night in the Stone Circle, drinking the Red Lion. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted pubs in the country.
Yeah, you used to be able to book a room there, but I don't think they do that anymore.
No, they don't. I don't know whether it was all the ghosts, but I think it was more likely just new ownership. But I think there's campsites down there, so you know we could probably camp nearby or something and just.
I think the nearest campsite would probably be the one at the Barge.
Fair enough.
Which is not particularly near. It would probably be quicker to get to my house than it would the bunch.
I'll just go sleep in a hedge. It's what I usually do.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
yeah, I think like a nighttime episode in Avebury Stone Circle will be a good one.
Yeah. All right.
We'll make it happen. You heard it here first. So back to weird news. I've got something UFO related.
Oh, I've got a UFO one coming up as well.
Oh, I'll do mine.
Hopefully it's not the same one.
This is actually to do with World UFO Day. Did you know it was World UFO Day coming up?
Oh, it's coming up. I was going to say today.
It is. Oh no! Actually, no. It's been and gone. Sorry, I apologise.
Oof.
I can re-edit that one.
Nobody knows when we recorded this, so we'll just pretend it's today,
true.
Isn't it?
True. Yes.
Oh no, because that clashes with your other story. I know you've got coming up.
Exactly. We can't. I can't keep up with all these lies.
Be so much easier if you were AI. AI would have known all this already.
Fucking right, yeah. Just get your AI co-host. We need the third co-host just to be AI. Flying objects and shrunken heads. World UFO Day fated amid surge in sightings, government denials. So yeah, it's from AP News. It's just a bit on World UFO Day, but it does go into a little bit of detail.
You still haven't told us when that is. Come on, we're on the edge of our seats.
It's the 2nd of July. It's the 2nd of July,
Okay.
which
2 weeks ago.
makes sense because that is the date of the Roswell crash in 1947. For those of you who don't celebrate World UFO Day, consider this. A former US intelligence officer told Congress last summer about a government program that retrieves and reverse engineers unidentified flying objects, which we have talked about. Then it goes into the Mexican mummies, which I think have pretty much been disproven now. But now NASA has a director of research for unidentified flying objects, or what it calls unidentified anomalous phenomena. Phenomena. Never mind that the Pentagon denied the former intelligence officer's claims. The Mexican researchers said the mummies made no sense, that a NASA study found no evidence of extraterrestrials. There's still never been a better time to mark World UFO Day. So it goes on to the history of World UFO Day for a while. I might put this up on the Cult of Wyrd, actually. It's quite an interesting article for lots of links to different things.
But in case anyone missed it, that's our Facebook group, Cult of the Wyrd. Almost 100 people in the group now. It's kicking off.
More people than listen to us, But the main thing from that I took, actually, which I wanted to talk about quick, was the fact that they've actually appointed a director for research for it. And I'm going to click on that link now.
I thought you were about to say a director of fog, then linking back to when Dawn was on.
So this is from late last year when the article was out about them appointing this guy. So they've said that the study of UFOs requires new scientific techniques, including advanced satellites, as well as a shift in how unidentified flying objects are perceived. And this all came about because of that. I'm putting it all down to Tom DeLonge, as I said. But the fact that it really has come in under a big increase recently of UFO sightings and official government releases regarding it as well. They were quick to stress that the panel found that no evidence that UAPs had extraterrestrial origin, but Nelson acknowledged with billions of stars and billions of galaxies out there, another Earth could exist. It's interesting they've phrased it as another Earth. That's
well, you get all these countries that are twinned with another country, right? So you can be Earth twinned with whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think the guy's name is Mark McNeary.
Oh, yeah.
Who previously served as liaison on the subject between the Space Agency and the Defense Department. I'm just going to get up his information now. Yes, he is now the director of UAP research, and looks like a nice guy. Looks like he could also be an X-Files villain. So But yeah, I might. That was my other suggestion actually. When there's more coming to the fore about this, and there's more like public information, I'd quite like to do an episode on this new director and like what he does as well, because I think that's it's kind of unprecedented times we're living in when it comes to UFO. Like it seems to be the most open the US government's ever been about it.
Yeah, but then a skeptic would say that they're only showing us what they want us to see, right? I mean,
Is that the skeptic though, or is that the believer?
No, that's where they're gradually seeding us with these ideas, isn't it?
That's it. And we find out the Greys have been running the show the whole time.
Nah, they'd have done a better job.
This is true. This is true. Well, if you're trying to make it look like they're not running the show, then maybe that's what you do.
We've just recently had a new election, right? So let's pretend that in the future we get proof that aliens exist and they run. Do you reckon they'd get in?
I reckon there's a good chance, to be honest.
I think I might vote for them.
Depends on the policies,
They can't be very green, can they? They're traveling across the universe.
They might have green energy, They might like stop off and recharge by each sun.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Solar wind farming. The real solar wind. Go on, give us your UFO story.
2 pilots radio in to report sightings of the same UFO over Ireland.
Ah.
This is on unexplainedmysteries.com. Don't know if that's related to the TV show. I'm assuming it is. It must be, right? Yeah, so both pilots had contacted air traffic control to report that they had spotted something unusual in the sky. The incident was brought to light recently by 17-year-old aviation journalist Sean Dunn, who picked up the radio messages being exchanged by the pilots of 2 separate planes. The first pilot contacted air traffic control around 12:30 a.m. on May 29th to report a bright unidentified object, stating it was there and then it went, and that it was almost like it was staying still and then it went really quickly. Second pilot then chipped in to state that they had also witnessed the anomalous object. Both pilots ended the conversation with a suitably humorous exchange. And they said, "I've never seen something amazing like that before," said one. And the other one replied, "You obviously haven't seen my landings."
Wow.
And then the first pilot replies, "Well, how do I say this? You haven't seen mine either." Afterwards, both planes continued to their original destinations without further incident.
Interesting.
Mm.
Maybe you got to be a pilot to get the humor, but that's it's always good for believability, I guess, when 2 people see it. Shows that it wasn't just someone making it up, or like there is something they saw. But the trouble is, depending on the height, the what did it say? What I might have missed it. Did it say what height they were at? Did it say what altitude they were at?
Doesn't give that much info, to be honest.
I mean, weather balloon.
The article was quite fleshed out by their little quips to each other. That's literally the whole article. I didn't skip anything there. That was half the article is that little back and forth between the 2 pilots. Yeah.
Well, I've got one in Ireland as well, but this is not in the sky. This is beneath the waves.
Oh, is this a submersible object?
It's definitely an object that submerses.
Yeah.
But yeah, think bit more terrifying, few more teeth.
Oh.
So not a submarine. Great white sharks in Ireland. International team seeks confirmation of a survey of Irish waters. The temperature and food options for them are ideal, so we think it's just a matter of time before we find one here, says expedition leader. Now, I was speaking to someone the other day that knows someone that's gone over there to research. I need to try and remember who that was, but I'd love to get a chance to chat to him about it.
Yeah.
A large team of scientists is set to embark on a major survey with the goal of documenting the presence of the great white shark in Irish waters. Confirmed records of the species have occurred far north as the Bay of Biscay, but reports around Ireland and the UK are confined to anecdotal sightings. The species made headlines recently with fake reports indicating one had been sighted off the Galway coast, a strong indication that the supporting video posted on social media had not been filmed in Irish waters. Dr. Nick
Yes, I
Payne.
saw the video actually on
Yeah,
that one.
me too.
Yeah.
Dr. Nick Payne of Trinity College Dublin School of Natural Sciences, who was leading the expedition, said that he is optimistic about the team's chance of confirming its presence off the Irish coast. Those that study great white sharks in other parts of the world have their eyes on Ireland as a likely location that the species may occasionally visit. The temperature and the food for them are ideal, so we think it's just a matter of time. They will embark on the September survey and work with OSearch as a US Great White Research Group. Now, I've heard this before, like the idea that they might be there as well. And Cornwall, I've heard that there's been sightings of them. I mean, we're right in the Gulf Stream, so, it's kind of, it does make sense in a way. And, things are getting warmer as well. As someone who's just started getting more into sea swimming, that's not the most comforting, sort of. I don't like it when a fish brushes up against me, because I go swimming at twilight sometimes and like in moonlight, so that's when they all come out. You've seen the beginning of Jaws.
So yeah, when I was growing up watching Jaws, we used to holiday in Weymouth every year, and even that shallow water there, I always used to think there was going to be some kind of Jaws attack as a child. It was terrifying.
So a friend of mine is Cornish, and she was telling me a story of her nan used to go swimming in the bay. I can't remember, it was off the South Cornwall coast, I think. And she used to go swimming in this harbour, this sort of like natural bay with like a bit coming out. And, she loved it every day she was in there. And then one day she stopped going in because she felt something brush against her leg, looked down, and there's like a 25-foot shark underneath her. It was a basking shark, wouldn't have hurt her. But just that just
Even so,
even if you know what it is, which you probably didn't at the time, like you looking down and seeing this massive thing underneath you, nope.
I watched that yesterday.
What, Jaws? Oh, nope.
Nope.
I'm gonna go see Longlegs tonight. Or today. That's kind of occult horror, supernatural.
Not heard of that one.
It looks good. Nicolas Cage, so it's going to be good.
Okay.
But, it goes on for a bit, saying Ireland is a globally recognised hotspot for shark species such as the basking shark, poor beagle, and taupe shark. But great whites have yet to be formally recorded here. Found throughout the world's oceans, great whites were historically common through the Mediterranean before overfishing caused major declines. It just goes on to say the importance of them in the ecosystem, the fact they're, sort of apex predators. Although saying that, obviously you've got killer whales quite like eating great whites, don't they? You had this great... There was a bit of footage of it, actually. There was a sightseeing vessel off the American coast somewhere, and this great white just gets slammed into by this orca. And what they do, they like flip them over onto their backs, so they can't
steal their liver, don't they?
Yeah, and they rip the liver out and they just kind of leave them. Now, whether it's a territorial thing or whether it's a food thing, they just really like the taste of the liver, I don't know. But what was really interesting was all the tagged great whites in like a 50-mile radius just all bucked off at the same time. They just all just left. It's like they could sense something big enough to kill them was around and they just left. But
because sharks have that thing, don't they? If they get flipped over, they almost go like
not all of them, but they do. Great whites do, yeah, great. And if they're still as well, if you keep them still, they can't breathe properly or anything.
So if you're ever attacked in Bournemouth Bay by a shark, just remember to flip it on its back, and you'll be fine.
That's it. Yeah, just turn
its liver.
That, yeah, that's it. Just turn that sort of 18-foot great white shark over, and yeah,
that's it. Just get out the fava beans and the nice Chianti, and you'll be sorted.
But so maybe we've got great whites in Ireland. We'll see.
Wow. All right, I can't finish this without just doing gold black eyes.
I'll catch a shark. Quite. So me and my mate Ian, we've decided that any film, I can't speak today, any film can be improved by having Quint in it. And obviously, George, you just need another Quint in there. We're saying any nautical film like Pirates of the Caribbean, or do you ever see The Abyss?
I don't think so.
Great films like Aliens in the Marianas Trench. I won't spoil it for anyone, but like essentially they end up going down there to find out what's going on. And we're saying, they're going in their submersibles, like the real high tech stuff. That's like really, sort of well built, and you can just imagine like Quint swimming down next to him, bare chested, with a knife in his teeth, like humming like Spanish ladies as he goes. Yeah, just awesome. He's like one of the best characters in film. Is Quint. I'd really like to do one of those open air cinema things they do with Jaws at lakes. Sometimes they'll have a big screen, and then like everyone will be on rubber rings in the lake watching Jaws. I mean, even if you're in a inland lake, that's going to be freaky.
You need people that are like divers to like tug on people's legs.
Yeah. That's it. Just release some fish in there as well, just to swim around and
yeah. So you were just talking about orcas killing sharks. I've got an orca story.
Oh yeah.
Although, because it actually refers to them as killer whales, I don't really like that term. But the article from ABC News says pod of killer whales attacks and sinks a 50-foot yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar. They've
been doing that a lot, haven't they?
No, because I think it's probably like a learned thing, don't they? But they don't really know why they're doing it. So yeah, they've attacked and sunk a yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar between Spain and Morocco. 2 people were on board the vessel when the incident occurred. It says Sunday at 9 a.m. local time. When was this article? This was back in May. I've had this one sat for a while. The couple alerted Spanish authorities and a rescue team arrived to extricate them from the vessel an hour after the attack, though officials were unable to salvage the sinking boat. And it says there have been approximately 700 orca attacks since 2020, according to GT Orca Atlantica, a conservation group, and officials believe that there's more than 37 orcas in the Strait of Gibraltar.
Yeah, they think it was. I did read somewhere. They think it was like a matriarch, like of the sort of pod, was like teaching the rest of them, and they said it could have been anything from just like a way of practicing hunting to like maybe one of them was wounded by a propeller on a boat or something like that, or a rudder, and they're sort of getting rid of them. I don't know. It's. I mean, they hunt for sport sometimes. Orcas, they're very intelligent, but each pack has different techniques, or each pod has different techniques.
Yeah.
So maybe that was when like kids have special interests. Like you go through an Egyptian phase or a dinosaur phase or something like that. Mine was orcas. I love. It was after Free Willy came out, I think.
Yeah, I was obsessed with them as well. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Can I tell you a quick joke that I saw the other day?
Go on, please do.
It does tie in with that article, I promise.
I guess
it's relevant, but it's also relevant to Mulder and Scully because why not?
Yeah.
Yes, this is a conversation between the two of them. So it starts with Mulder, who says over 20 reported killer whale attacks in the month of May. The whales worked in tandem. Do you know what this means, Scully? And Scully replies, no. And Mulder says the attacks were orchestrated, Scully.
Amazing. We only bring you the best quality comedy on this show.
I don't know who to credit that with. I think Hamish sent it to me, Pictavia Leather.
Amazing.
Who did my I Want to Believe tattoo.
Oh, right. Well,
save the show. Bring us back to some weird news.
So Ariel, the 6-legged dog who was abandoned a while ago, settles into a new life in Pembrokeshire. Ariel has settled into a new home well and enjoys swimming, paddleboarding, and surfing, her owner says. A 6-legged dog who was abandoned outside a shop is settling into a new home. Named after Disney's Little Mermaid, Ariel was left outside a B&M store in Pembrokeshire last September. She was only 11 weeks old at the time and was taken by a local centre, Green Acres Rescue in Haverfordwest. As well as the 6 legs, a Cocker Spaniel also was born with 2 vulvas and 1 kidney. Her new owner, Ollie Bird, runs an adaptive surf school in West Wales. The 40-year-old who lives in Freshwater West told Sky News he and his family were probably the only people in Wales who had not heard about Ariel's story when they adopted her.
Under the sea, life is much better where it is wetter. Under the sea.
Best song in the film. Ariel's arrival came at a time when the family were mourning the loss of their dog. We had a 16-year-old dog that we found 13 years ago wandering down Freshwater West Beach and unfortunately just suddenly passed away overnight. For a whole 48 hours, we thought we were not going to get another dog, so it was so upsetting. Then we realised that our home felt empty without one, and so applied to Green Acres for a dog, who then got back in touch with the family and they were introduced to Ariel. We obviously found out about her whole story. We're absolutely overjoyed to welcome her into our family. Mr. Bird said Ariel had settled in well into her new home. She joins us everywhere we go. She actually can walk very well. She does need little breaks now and then, but if we go on a walk, I can put her in a bag or give her lots of stops. She's swimming in the sea and she's been paddleboarding, surfing, and it's just great with kids and families. She's a very gentle soul. She likes sitting and watching. More than 15,000 raised in donations for Ariel after the news of her abandonment first broke. Her new family have thanked everyone there for their support for the pooch. We're just really grateful for anyone who made a phone call to find out how the operation's gone. I think it was something like 20,000 phone calls, they said, when she was having her operation from around the world, and people donated their money. We just can't thank those people enough, because without them, we just wouldn't have the amazing dog who is part of our lives now. Mr. Bird Keane stresses it's not a happy ending for Ariel. For us, it's a happy beginning. That's nice. That's wholesome. But yeah, I don't know if you can get a picture up or I can.
Close all those dodgy tabs quick.
Right, can you see Ariel?
Yeah.
So there you are. There is Ariel with her extra legs. Just down there. So they weren't fully formed.
Right.
And down here is Ariel sitting quite happily, or up here, sitting quite happily without said extra legs. So there you go, on her board. But yeah, so that's a nice weird news story, I think. Have you got anything nice and dark to drag it back down again?
How many have I got left? 1, 2. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. One of them I'll tell you what. So very, very briefly, I just wanted to mention that the X-Files is getting a reboot.
Yes.
It was accidentally leaked by Chris Carter, who did the original series. And it's going to be made by Ryan Coogler, who was responsible for Black Panther, the Marvel Black Panther. But there's no other info about it yet, so we don't need to talk about it. But quite exciting.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be a soft reboot or like a complete remaking. I'm kind of hoping it's set in the same universe, so they can occasionally wheel Mulder and Scully out.
It sounds like it's going to be a complete reboot from scratch. Yeah, it's so whether it'll even be Mulder and Scully, I don't know, but that'll be hard to recast. So I think it'll have to be new agents, right?
Yeah. See, if that, yeah, I'd be a lot more tempted to just do a, sort of a soft reboot on that one if that was me, and keep it in universe.
Yeah, that might be
nice. But then you've got the pressure to bring old characters back, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and the series was notorious for going down the hill. People stopped watching it when Mulder left and Scully left. So, don't know. I mean, I've heard people, when I've said about how good the X-Files is, that hadn't seen it, have watched it and said it's boring. So,
TV's of a different pace now, but I'll give it a go.
Don't make them like they used to.
Don't make them like they used to. We're getting old. Go on, give us some weird news.
All right, so back to the weird news. Brace yourself. Man sneezed so hard his colon fell out of his body while having breakfast.
Okay, just go straight in with that. Wow.
I wasn't sure how to broach that one, but yeah. So a man has coughed and sneezed at the same time, causing his colon to fall out of his body as he sat having breakfast at a US diner. So he's in public as well, man.
Oh my God.
63-year-old was with his wife at a Florida restaurant and he felt a wet sensation followed by a sharp pain. He lifted up his shirt and spotted several inches of his colon poking out of a surgical wound. The man had recently had abdominal surgery, but doctors told him the incision had healed well. So, yeah, an ambulance was called, and on arrival, paramedics observed a 3-inch opening with large amounts of bowel protruding through. Fortunately, there was minimal blood loss and no damage to the exposed organ. He was taken to hospital and surgeons managed to put his bowels back into his abdomen.
Oh my God. I mean, I've had a hernia before and like nothing comes out, but you can like feel the squishiness of, your innards. And that's horrendous. But yeah, the idea of actually coming, going with the gross ones today. Right. How do I follow that? Okay, well, I think we haven't had a ghost one yet properly, have we?
I've got 2 ghost ones coming up.
Okay, well, I'll start us on the ghost, on the ghosties.
I'll tell you what I've got, because I've got 3 left. I've got 2 ghost ones and 1 future predictions one.
Oh, I have 2 future prediction one and 1 ghost one.
Well, there we go, look.
Wonder if any of the predictions are similar. So, terrified hospital security guard catches ghost playing in wheelchair in an empty hallway.
Ooh.
And this from the Mirror. A security guard has taken social media to share the spooky encounter he experienced while patrolling a hospital, saying he'll never forget the creepy moment. A security guard got the fright of his life after catching a ghost playing in a wheelchair in an empty hospital hallway. The man explained how he has never before experienced anything spooky when out on a shift in the hospital, but says this encounter will stay in his mind forever. When sharing a video on Reddit, he said, "This was about a year ago. I did security at a hospital. The chair was on the other side of the hallway on my first patrol. On the second patrol, this is what I found. It was the only time I've ever experienced anything spooky like this. I was never a believer until this happened."
Is there a video?
There is. Shall I? Right. Here we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
So watch the wheelchair.
Uh-huh. What's this fucking...
That is...
I
mean, if it's on a slight slope or something...
No, that was a definite move. That was more than I was expecting, because it's like a turn as well as a move, right? But then he immediately turns the camera away. I'm suspicious. I think that someone's...
You think that was a hoax?
Okay. Yeah. I think it seems weird that he's like, "Oh my God, the thing's moving. Let's film the wall."
Yeah.
Come on. I don't know.
Maybe he was purposely looking away, maybe it'd...
It's always with these videos, though, isn't it? There's just...
Yeah, never like properly... Yeah, he looks away, looks back to it. So basically, you've got this wheelchair in a hallway. He's looking at it for a while, waiting for it to do its thing. And then he turns the camera away, turns it back, holds it there for a second longer. And this empty hallway just boxes around it and stuff. The wheelchair just sort of turns on one wheel. Like not just a movement, a turn as well. I mean, it could be a few things. It could be a hoax.
Yeah, I think it's a hoax. It was a definite movement. I don't think that's just moving because it's on a slope or something, because it's very still for a long time. But he's also filming as if he's expecting it, because he films for a lot longer before it starts.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious.
He said, comments on the Creek clip, one user said, "I used to volunteer at a hospital that was built in the early 20th century. There's always weird stuff going on there." Nice catch on this video. You can tell he's freaking out, and yet he's stuck around just long enough. I agree. Nice catch. Your reaction is priceless. Anytime I go somewhere that seems haunted, I wish stuff like this happens to me because I'm not a big believer of paranormal stuff. But then again, I wouldn't know how to react. Simple, mate. Film the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of it's fairly creepy, but as you say, there is explanations. The camera stuff is a bit sus. But yeah, Do you want to give us a ghost one? Do you want to give us a predictions one?
Yeah, quick personal anecdote is this morning I was getting dressed and Ocean got out of bed. This was at like just after 6, I think, 6:15 this morning.
Yeah.
I was getting dressed. Ocean comes out of her bedroom. She starts walking through the hallway and she freaked out because she thought she saw something coming up the stairs. And I've never seen someone move so fast. She dived into my room and onto the bed to get as far away. So I
Oh,
was between
wow.
whatever it was and her. She was probably freaked out, like almost crying
Oh,
because she
wow.
reckoned something was coming up the stairs. And I was in shot of the stairs and I was like, there's nothing there. What are you on about?
It's ever since that creepy doll came in.
What creepy doll? She's not creepy, are you? No.
She just winked at you, so I'm assuming she's cool with it.
Do you want more ghosts? I got a couple of ghosts.
Go on, give us a ghost.
So yeah, UK plagued by ghosts as demand for exorcist jumps up 60% since the start of 2024.
I was going to do that one the other day, actually, but go on, give it to us.
Yeah, so a plague of phantoms has seen the number of Brits seeking help from exorcists, and Ghostbusters saw more than 60% since the turn of 2024. Bosses at Airtasker, an online marketplace where users can outsource everyday tasks, found that there have been a surge in folk looking for paranormal help. The number of ghost-related tasks has shot up 63%. It's very repetitive, this article. Some folk offering hundreds of pounds for help getting rid of spooks and poltergeists. Chiefs at the firm say there have been a rise in Brits looking for help with haunted homes and offices. Some are offering up to £200 for a paranormal investigator to rid them
We're in the
of a
wrong line of
spirit.
business, man.
We're moving that way. Don't
We
worry.
are moving that way.
Speaking this week, a spokesman for the firm, which usually deals with more mundane services like handymen and women cleaners and furniture assemblers, said there had been an influx since the start of the year. He said there's been a recent influx of posts. This is repeating itself again. Yeah. That's literally said the same thing over and over again. It does end with that some of the paranormal problems include mysterious bumps in the night, flickering lights, shelves flying off the walls, and strange noises. And that's giving people the heebie-jeebies.
I was going to see Becky the other night, and she lives in the top of a block of flats, and the lights.
Oh, is that Becky from the Dreams episode of Wyrd Wessex?
That's that Becky, yes.
That Becky, yeah.
So we were, I was going up there, and she was like, "Oh, the lights on the lift are playing up a bit." And I tell you what, it was like pure horror flicking on and off. And when she came down with me, because we were going out, I was like, "This is the bit where like you're going down this alone, the lights flicker, and then you see someone behind you, then they flicker and they're gone." And she was like, "I think I'd just die on the spot." It's like it's one of the most horrifying things that can happen. But yeah, literally pure horror film stuff.
Did you ever play a game called Fear?
Yes. Yeah,
and that would be like your lights would, your torch would go out and you'd be like banging the torch for it to come back on. It would come back on and there'd be a girl stood in front of you.
There was a browser web game based on Slender Man, which did the same sort of thing, like he'd be at the edge of your vision, like your torch would go out, then he'd be there and he'd be gone, but then he'd be closer, kind of like Weeping Angel style. And that was pretty sinister. I think jump scare games like that are underrated. But yeah, horrifying. Okay, well, I have 2 predictions ones left now.
I've got one prediction and I've got one that's sort of related to Ghost more. So do you want me to do that one first?
Yeah, go for it.
Because then we can do all the prediction stuff together and maybe we'll see if they cross over or something. So funeral home staff realize a dead woman is actually still breathing.
Nice.
A woman declared dead and moved to a funeral home shocked staff when they saw she was in fact still alive. Constance Glance. That's a good name, isn't it?
Constance Glance. That's like, that's kind of like Bond girl level of like naming,
So 74 thought to have died in a hospice in Nebraska earlier that morning. She was transferred and an undertaker was preparing her body for the funeral when they noticed she was still breathing. Emergency workers gave CPR and she was taken to hospital where her condition has not been made public. Lancaster County Chief Deputy Ben Hotchins said it's a very unusual case. He's been doing this for 31 years and nothing like this has ever gotten to this point before. We've not been able to find any criminal intent by the nursing home, but the investigation is ongoing. She had been receiving end-of-life care at a hospice. And yeah, she was declared dead, and then she wasn't.
So my grandmother has made me promise, and made all of us promise, that when she goes, she wants us to like stick a pin through her nose and everything. She's got a massive fear of that happening.
Well, we're going to have to cover this at some point because they used to put like bells above the graves
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah,
didn't
that's
they?
it. So you could ring it if you, yeah. Well, I reckon that's what I mean. I want to do one on Highgate. So, well, it's going to be Highgate Cemetery or vampires. I want to do an episode on, and but yeah, you get stories of vampires scratching their way out and things. They think some of those were cases of people being buried alive, and like when they dig them up again, there's blood all over their hands and their mouth and scratches in the coffin. They think it's some poor sod that's been buried alive and trying to get out. But yeah, pretty grim stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you just 1 inch punch your way out. I've seen Kill Bill. So we're going to go back to a favourite, Baba Vanga.
Oh, she's back again.
She's
Thought
back
she was dead.
No, the bell went. So the bleak predictions of Baba Vanga, the Nostradamus of the Balkans, appear to be coming true in 2024, hinting at a chilling future in 2025. So we're going out unhappy. We're not going out. There's a couple more to go.
I was going to say, I almost had another one, but because we've had a delay recording this, it went out of date because there was a guy that had predicted World War III and the end of the world by the end of June. But being as it's July, I was almost going to do it anyway so we could call out the bullshit.
Baba Vanga is a Bulgarian mystic who has correctly predicted the past world events like Chernobyl, disaster in Ukraine, the death of Princess Diana, 9/11, and even her own death on August the 11th, 96, at the age of 85. 28 years after our death, Baba Vanga's predictions seem to be coming into fruition. In January, we shared the list of predictions for this year, which I think we covered, which include alien encounters and the end for Russian President Vladimir Putin, which hasn't happened yet. So far, her other predictions, terrorist attacks in Europe, because I remember saying that wasn't exactly unlikely, a surge in cyber attacks again, and the medical and technological breakthroughs are happening. Iran tensions. So, along with increased attacks in Europe, Vanga also warned of a major country which could be dabbling in biological warfare. She said these developments could come after Hamas attacks sparked by an outright war between Israel and Palestine. I'd love to get the actual recordings or writings of her predictions up at some point. We need to look at those.
Whether they're exactly what they say they are or whether they're...
Yeah, because we're going off... We do all this from news articles, which are like third or fourth hand accounts usually. I want to try and find her actual predictions. But it says Iran has begun to take more of a direct role in conflict against Israel throughout the year, launching more than 300 missiles and drones at Tel Aviv in April, and warning of an obliterating war if Israel responds with military action in Lebanon. Another prophet, Nostradamus, predicted war in 2024, writing, "Red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread." Now, just to add quickly here before I go on, Iran do have a new prime minister or president, I believe, don't they? I can't remember which one it is, because theirs died in a helicopter crash.
Not aware, to be honest. I'll be honest, other than weird news, I try to avoid the news because it's always so bleak.
So it's counting the Moscow Crocus City Hall attack, which was a horrible, nasty attack that left 110 people dead in Russia at a concert hall. And it's like, I think ISIS claim responsibility for that. The attack prompted German Interior Minister Nancy Fraser to warn football fans to be on high alert just ahead of the 2024 kickoff in Germany. As of yet, there has been no attack there, to my knowledge. Cyber attacks have increased with Greggs, McDonald's, Tesco. Not Greggs, Tesco's and Sainsbury's have all experienced hacking this year, as of the NHS, I think. A shadowy hacking group has threatened to release patient data, worrying those who use the NHS. So it's only July, and Vanga warned that this year's cyber attacks will not be run of the mill. She predicts they will use sophistication targeting critical infrastructure like power grids and water treatment facilities. Medical and tech breakthroughs. Two breakthrough treatments were revealed for both Alzheimer's and cancer this year, and a vaccine that could protect future generations from Alzheimer's, and a wonder drug that is a potential cure for aggressive cancers, which quadrupled 3-year survival rates. And then it goes on to alien encounters. In March, a zigzagging UFO was spotted hovering above a nuclear power plant in India, which we did cover.
Yes.
And a Missouri man was abducted by extraterrestrials who performed sexual experiments on him and stole his sperm. Did we do that one?
We've definitely talked about it, but I don't know if it was on the show.
All right. Well, maybe that's
I think we have done that one. I'm sure we have.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. Yes, we have actually. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because he was talking about it happened, and he was talking about the shadowy figures nearby as well. Yes, yeah. We suggested trying to get him on the show,
which we never tried.
No, we never tried. We don't follow through on these things. She also predicted that an assassination attempt will be made on Putin this year from one of his own countrymen. Maybe she got him confused with Donald Trump. Tensions of maybe they're the same person. They've continued.
I've never seen them in the same room at the same time.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they have been at some point, but maybe it was the clone.
I've never seen them.
You've never personally seen them. Yeah, it could be trickery on TV. I've never been there. They need to invite us, otherwise they're lying.
Yeah, it's trick TV.
Putin's health has been under fierce speculation for years, and this year's rumours prompted Russia to release a warning. So far, there have been no known attempts on Putin's life, but it's quite early in the year. Well, it's not really. It's halfway through. But yes, so yeah, some of them have come true. But again, I'm hesitant to say, oh yeah, definitely, until we actually look at those. So maybe we do need to do a bit of a dive on what she actually said.
Yeah, because a lot of they've been interpreted from what she said, haven't they? So
yeah.
Go
on, give us your predictions.
All right, so I had this one for a little while now, so it's not recent. I think the article's from April, but Simpsons fans terrified by latest 2024 prediction after a string of episodes come to life. Fans of The Simpsons are terrified by the show's latest prediction for 2024 following a series of episodes that have eerily mirrored real-life events. Nice. Over the years, the show has accurately predicted several major world events from 9/11 to Donald Trump's unexpected presidency. These uncanny parallels have led to speculation and suspicion about the show's ability to predict the future. One writer suggested the predictions are merely coincidences, as the show's long history means it's bound to repeat certain themes. However, the recent prediction for 2024 has left fans in a state of fear. TikTok user Matt Welland shared a video discussing the episode, stating, because if this happened, I will lose my mind. In the video, Matt explains, basically, in the episode, Homer is preparing a bunker, making sure he and his family are prepared for something that is about to happen. He has all the stocks and supplies to ensure his family will be able to survive in the bunker. It says, here we go, stick with me because Springfield is about to get hit by a deadly solar storm. He continued, this catastrophic event then leads to a complete shutdown of essentially the world. No internet, no electricity, everything comes to a close, basically like a full out. The solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks, months, or even years. He went on to explain that Baba Vanga, he links it all together here, predicted Earth would be hit by a solar storm. Last year, Simpsons fans spotted a chilling link between an episode on Homer's submarine trip to the Titanic wreck and the tragic events of a lost submersible Titan. The Simpsons eerily predicted the COVID-19 pandemic in 1993 episode titled Margin Chains, where Springfield is ravaged by the Osaka flu, a lethal virus originating from Japan. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but seeing if there's any more predictions on here that it mentions. I have thoughts. I'm going to come back to my thoughts, but I'm just seeing if there's... I think that was the last prediction that they mentioned on that article. I know there are multiple cases where they claim that The Simpsons has got it correct, But the original, so the thing for the solar storm for this year, if I'm remembering correctly, Ocean watches The Simpsons every day, but I only catch bits of it. But I'm fairly certain that it's to do with a nuclear meltdown from the power plant, and it has nothing to do with the solar storm.
I think you're right, and I think a lot of people, a lot of this stuff, you don't see the episodes or clips. They'll post up a picture on TV that's similar to something that's on the internet. Sorry, that's similar to happen. Like it's a still from the episode. It's not.
Yeah.
They're AI generated or drawn, and people are just making them. It's a thing. I also think there are apparently currently 768 episodes of The Simpsons that have been made. I wonder if you're going to get to a point where it's just like monkeys with typewriters getting Shakespeare. You know, it's like you have throw enough out there, and there's going to be some stuff that happens that's similar. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I said. That one of the writers from the show actually says that it's like it's a coincidence, right? But yeah, I'm fairly certain that the episode he's talking about there doesn't happen like he's saying it does.
Yeah, quite often it is different from what I gather, because that is a big thing, isn't it? You know, the predictions of the Simpsons. Right, future episode, we're going to have a look at these and pull up like the actual ones that have come to pass and see how close they are. There you go, written an entire new episode for us. You're welcome.
Well, you haven't written it. What you're telling me is that
it's all up here, man. It's all up here. Yeah.
Go on, round us off. What have you got?
All right, I will round us off. Now, going with one last one. Now, as I said, this has been recording on the 14th of July, which among the sort of other famous events this day that have happened, like the assassination attempt or the assassination of Donald Trump, depending on how the Mandela effect works. It is the Euro finals, and in a bit of weird news, extra weird, is England have made it to the final. We're playing Spain, and there is England's Euro 2024 semi-final fate revealed by Psychic and Mystic Meerkats. So someone predicted the results of the semi-final, which was against the Netherlands, but also with Mystic Meerkats. A psychic who claims to have predicted COVID-19 pandemic has envisioned a starring role for Saka, who's an Arsenal forward who scored a goal in the Euro 2024 finals. Nicholas Ajula, 38, predicts Arsenal winger Saka will help lead England to victory against the Netherlands in the semi-final before ultimately losing to Spain. He's not the only one to envision glory for England in tomorrow's big game. So this was actually come out before the game. This came out before the semi-final. With a group of Mystic Meerkats also predicting Southgate's side will defeat the Dutch. Nicholas, a therapist and astrologer who lives in South London, claims to have uncovered the psychic abilities of around 17 years old when he had visions of himself in past lives, including being an Egyptian queen and taking part in the French Revolution. Since then, he claims to have accurately predicted major world events, including COVID-19, the fire at Notre Dame, and the Black Lives Matter movement. Nicholas, who said in his forecast come to him in dreams or envisioned on command, claimed to took himself into the peace and quiet and focused his feelings to predict the football result ahead of the Euro 2024 semi-final against the Netherlands. England player Saka will rise in name and fame, getting better at his game. Oh, please tell me he does it all in rhyme. Spain will beat France, England will beat Netherlands, Spain will win the Euros. That doesn't rhyme, I'm disappointed. The first half of the game will be tense, and the later half is when it gets more interesting. A cross, which is a medium to long range pass, could really change the game. Keep an eye out for Kyle Walker, Jude Bellingham scoring for England. Asked whether he would put money on his prediction, Nicholas added, I haven't made a bet yet, but I might have a flutter on Spain winning. Meanwhile, the psychic powers of the Meerkats at Drusilla's Park in East Sussex have accurately forecast victories for the home team throughout the tournament so far, with their keepers hoping they continue their winning streak on predictions. The animals make their selection by choosing one of two buckets of nuts, a favourite meerkat snack, each with a flag on the side to represent the opposing teams. The containers are placed side by side before the meerkats are released, and whichever bucket is surrounding the most animals is declared the winner, with the England offering being the firm favourite so far. Head keeper Gemma Romanis said, You shouldn't doubt the mystic meerkat's psychic powers, adding that a fellow keepers of everything crossed for England.
So hang on. So the meerkats are predicting a win for England, but the other guy's predicting a loss for England.
Yes. So I guess we'll see what's more powerful. Let me have a look.
So by the time this goes out, anyone that's listening will already know the result. So
yeah,
we probably shouldn't drag this on for too long because
looking for the rest of 2024, Nicholas thinks that the British public need to be patient for there to be a major change by Sir Keir Starmer in the new Labour government. Believes there will be a cabinet reshuffle at the tail end of the year. Any other predictions? Also believe Trump will be the US president, win the new US president election in November. That's looking more likely after today, I think. When asked to focus his thoughts around what the rest of the year could look like for the UK politically, Nicholas said, the Labour Party will struggle in its pursuit to bring any major change in the next few months. A change in cabinet or reshuffle will come in November. A strong female leader or politician will emerge in time from current shifts in power. People will question or debate Keir Starmer's leadership skills. Memes will be made about him. I mean, that's not really a prediction. He's a leader of a country. You get memed. Also thinks by the end of 2024, there'll be a blackout in a UK airport, pig disease affecting pork products, and protests over people not having enough water. So, yeah, just out of interest, this only covers up to the semi-final. I want to see what the prediction is of the Meerkats for the final.
Oh, so I thought you were saying the Meerkats had predicted.
No, they predicted the win against the Netherlands.
Okay. But this other guy has predicted a win for Spain.
The Meerkats are predicting an England victory in the upcoming finals against Spain, as a majority of these mystic animals surround the England team's bucket. There you go.
All right. Well, anyone that's listening or watching this already knows the answer, so
we will see whether the mystic.
Well done, Spain.
Who has the more psychic power? Whether it is Nicholas Adula or whether it is the mystic meerkats of.
Or if we bring in the Mandela effect, in which case we'll all remember a different result.
So yeah, Uri Geller usually weighs in on this sort of thing as well, but I can't be bothered to see what he says. He's usually wrong. Stick to bending spoons.
So I saw some meerkats yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, unexpectedly.
Where did you go?
I was going to leave it there. But, all right. I went to visit Clay Hill. Because I'm writing an episode on the Warminster thing.
I remember.
I'm just waiting. I've got a book coming tomorrow, so I'm waiting for some more information. But yes, I thought I'd go and have a look. It has changed my opinion about some of the things I've seen just by being on location. But that'll come in the episode. But then we realised as we pulled up to Clay Hill that we were literally at the entrance of Longleat, and then Ocean was desperate to go, so we went to Longleat.
Nice.
Spent the day. Unexpected. We were only going to Clay Hill and back, and we didn't get back to like the evening because we've been at Longleat all day looking at animals and having monkeys rip apart my van.
They do that. I was chatting to a coach driver that came to the centre the other day, and he was going to Longleat the next day. I said, "You go?" He said, "No, we're not allowed to go through the monkey enclosure. We haven't got the insurance on the coaches for it." Apparently, they did take a really old coach for it last year, and it just loads of stuff got ripped apart. So
I was a bit worried because my van, I don't know why, but it's got a big plastic vent on the top.
You worried they'd break through it?
I was thinking if they take that off, I don't know if that leaves a hole into the back of my van.
Just end up coming home with, and that's how the Saxon forager got a monkey on the show.
Yes,
but
I'll tell you one thing actually. I've got one in here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Hang on. I have one of these in the van.
Nice.
T-monkey. Right, one of these monkeys was on the windscreen right in front of me, right? And I go, look at this monkey, and this was sat in the corner, and I picked it up like that, and he shit himself. And then I discovered every one of them that came near the front of the van, like they're on the window next to me here. I'd just go, whoop, and they go,
Do you reckon like how we get the uncanny valley thing with like things that look a bit human? They get it with monkeys.
I reckon it was a territorial thing. they didn't recognize the monkey, and so they were like, "Fuck!" And hilarious.
Maybe you should have given it to them. They could like take it and worshipped it as their god. But all that's about it for weird news. I guess we will see on the predictions. Well, by the time, as Craig said, by the time this goes out, you guys will know already. But we'll see. As I said, is being filmed on the 14th. So to us, we don't know either way. We'll see who's the more powerful psychic. And yeah,
I don't even know when we release this episode. I've got no idea. In the next hour.
Yeah, that's it. We've got to get it out. Well, kickoff's at 8:30, I think, or 8 o'clock or something. So, yeah, I'm.
Do I really want to release a Wextra on the same day as an episode's gone out? So, the Ghost Animals has just gone out today.
Yes. So maybe not.
So,
maybe not.
Nah.
Maybe chuck this little bit out. Maybe chuck this little bit out.
Who knows?
Or I can just post something up on the Cult of Wyrd and let some people know that way.
Yes.
But yeah,
I've been weird.
He's been very weird. And I've been Craig.
Wait, what?